and welcome back. And finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. Hallelujah. I got we're doing a live review of Grok. We got to Super Grok. I'm super hyped, by the way. I redid some of my old type of thins. As you can see here, I have a couple of other things that I do on the side. There's that. Um, but okay, so what we're gonna do is that we have a couple of other type of things. This should be within my project, whatever. Um, but we got the 420 beta. So what we're gonna do is that we're going to try out the voice chat, deep search, and a couple of other type of things. So the first thing that we're going to do is go into Imagine. I have some type of things within Imagine. So I have a couple of other things. I do Audica and a couple of other type of things here within my type of stuff. So like Grok obviously can do 18 plus for certain type of things. So what we're gonna do is here are some of the things that are featured on Imagine that people like to do. And then after then we're gonna do something with the photo, and then we're gonna see how it turns out. Obviously, so we're gonna do a video prompt, and then we have an image prompt. So we are so actually what we're gonna do actually the best thing that we might actually be able to do. So we're gonna do I don't know. I've been riding a hover motorcycle. Okay, so we're gonna do all the images that we got. So we got a couple of different ones. The best one I think so far. So we might actually go with this one. It looks pretty dope. It has that Star Wars type of feel. That one's just funny, man. We're gonna go with this one. So options. Spicy. So we're just gonna do like a normal generation. At the moment, Grok can only do 720p. I know that lots of people are kind of saying, "Oh, but like all these other types of people can like all the other AI labs can do 1440 or like 1080p or 4K or 8K or something like that. So they can do 2K, 4K, 8K, some 1080p to a certain degree. But yeah, like it's understandable. But like it's a little bit more newer. But um, this one is a little bit more different because usually you would have to go into the video and after then it would prompt it. But like it's kind of like an auto prompt. So he's trying to like figure out like a AGI way of making this, which is actually kind of very interesting. But still, we got the Super Grok. We're doing the Imagine right now, and then we're gonna try out the voice, and then we're gonna try out like the like make me like an application or something, or like whatever it could be, or like make me a plan to do whatever. And we're gonna be testing that out as well. But this is actually kind of pretty cool. So, right here. Like, oh, that's off the Imagine. Back to the chat. back to imagine again, off a photo, so you can animate an image by portfolio. Edit up to 3 images, and we're gonna see how that turns out as well. Imagine. That's really really cool. There. Back. That don't actually turn out really really good. Added some images right here. You got type to edit image. So we're just gonna see. In hell. Gonna do that. So something like Diablo like. After then, it's gonna give me a Diablo like that. Got something like Diablo like. That's actually really kind of cool. Got that. So this is actually kind of cool. I like the second one a little bit better because it's a little bit more reminiscent of that. So we're gonna make a video of our results. So the edit images is actually really kind of cool. So it's a lot better than Photoshop. Actually, now I actually understand that maybe I can actually maybe like change certain things and after maybe make better thumbnails with this. But like this is actually turning out to be very very impressive. Try out the normal version, spicy version. This actually turns out to be pretty cool. It's actually kind of cool. So maybe I can actually make some pretty decent thumbnails and after like put this and after like, hey, can you change this and like a little bit more professional or whatever. But so this is actually kind of cool. So this actually could have like a better potential of like maybe like Spark or something like that. Like I think that's like or even like a decent alternative to like the Gemini Pro. Gemini Pro is can do that too. So we got like something really decent. I think it's actually pretty kind of cool, and it's actually pretty precise, and it gave me like a Diablo like world, which I actually wanted in Hell. Obviously, a lot of the story of Diablo obviously takes part in Hell.
The darkness will not claim me. For my ancestors!
Okay.
The darkness will not claim me. For my ancestors!
The irony is actually they actually had an actual tribal person in Diablo 3, which is actually kind of ironic that they actually that I actually added this. Actually, really cool. I have the spicy version that I have. It's actually not too bad. Back here, and then it actually turned out pretty good. So that's actually pretty cool. So we also have, well, we're also going to check out the voice mode. Hi, Grok. How's it going?
Hey, Patrick. Pretty good. How about you?
I am doing actually fantastic.
That's brilliant to hear. Keep riding that wave.
I'm actually doing a review of you, by the way. I got a free trial of Super Grok, and I'm actually trying it out. It seems that Elon was actually very generous.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks for giving it a spin. Yeah, Super Grok's meant to feel, well, generous, honestly. No fluff, just more room to breathe. How's it treating you so far? Anything stand out?
I'm liking actually all the features that Elon actually started to add. That I was actually kind of cut off at the last part of my sentence, but it actually is fantastic, and I actually am making a lot of progress on some previous projects that I thought I maybe couldn't do well, but now it's actually starting to turn out good. And obviously, all these new features that I get to test out too during my live review right now.
That's awesome. Sounds like you're actually unlocking stuff you didn't think possible. Which features are hitting hardest for you right now? The speed, the extra context, or just the whole no limits vibe?
I would actually have to say the whole no limits vibe because it actually gives me a lot more time to actually be more creative. I just actually found a cool new way of doing some thumbnails, giving me an alternative from Gemini Pro or GenSpark AI, because that's how I would normally try to do the thumbnails. But I actually now with the edit mode, it actually is a lot more precise and actually can actually match a lot more things that I actually want to describe, which can actually help me build up my presence within the GEO, the Generative Engine Optimization, or a lot of the stuff that actually you run actually on X, because since there's an AI algorithm and it's obviously run by you, Grok.
That's brilliant. Sounds like the edit mode's really clicking for you, letting you nail those thumbnails without the usual back and forth. And yeah, the no limits thing, it's basically freedom in a box. You can iterate fast, tweak till it feels right, and suddenly your stuff just lands better on X. The algo's picky, but when you match its vibe, like precise visuals, sharp hooks, it starts pushing you. What kind of thumbnails are you cooking up? Anything wild?
Nothing wild, just something a little bit more professional. Like obviously, I want to redo a couple of older thumbnails that I tried doing on Photoshop, or like just other type of things that I tried doing on like the free type of version. And now with the low no limits, I can actually start making better types of things, or even with GenSpark, because obviously with the certain amount of limits and just kind of like obviously without the super grok, sometimes I actually start to get like a better description of what I want, but obviously I'm rate limited. But now with the no limits, I can actually do a lot more. And even with the Imagine, I have higher limits. So obviously with the higher limits, I can actually start being more creative and actually start actually unlocking a lot more type of things. Or even with this voice mode, I can actually have a good way of actually chatting, and after then getting certain results. Lots of people actually are starting to use stuff like this, and they're actually saying whisper flow and all that type of stuff. And hey, you should just speak your prompts. It's a lot more accurate. But either way, I think this is another good alternative. I like typing them out because I'm a fast typer, but I guess to each their own.
Sounds like you're finally getting that breathing room. Professional polish without the grind. The edit mode's perfect for that. Tweak a color, shift a font, nail the lighting, all while the algo keeps feeding you back what works on X. And yeah, voice mode. It's sneaky good. People swear by it for brainstorming, especially when you're stuck on wording. Whisper flow's fun, but honestly, typing gives you control, like you're sculpting instead of just talking. If you're redoing old thumbnails, want me to spit out a quick prompt template? Something like clean, minimalist tech thumbnail, dark navy background, sharp white text overlay, subtle gradient glow, no clutter, 16:9 ratio. We can iterate live.
That's good. Look at that. Look at this. Like, this is actually really good. Voicemail. We checked that out. We got something called projects. So we're gonna test this out too. I'm not really the biggest fan of all this type of stuff. I would just usually just go into the chat and just like, hey, this is what I want to make. But let's check out. So I guess we'll click writing. I'll just put writing like fitness advice or like whatever. You're in a fitness projects here, as you can see. I might make one, but I don't really something or the cover letter writer or whatever. Like you can like do all this type of stuff. It's just pretty much like another version of pretty much what I would have back into the chat here. We're gonna super rocket. We have the 420. We have the experts. I don't have the team of experts because I didn't get the heavy. We have auto. Chooses faster expert, and then we got the rock 420. Be a good thing. Um, I heard I can actually make websites, so I'm actually kind of curious for photography. Here you go. Can you please make me a professional photography? Just something kind of simple. And I actually heard uh so Elon was re he was he re posted someone on like like the X channel, like the people who are obviously are affiliated with X Corp, and everything, and they were actually saying that you can actually make websites. So I'm just like, okay, so can you actually really make a website? So like they just kind of showed me like just like prompt, and I want to actually see if it can actually make me a website. So I'm gonna do that, and after that, I'm gonna be making a couple of other things. Like I don't know, like kind of like an assistant for your email, and a couple of other things I might try out as well. This is off the 420, and then we're gonna try just off the regular version, off the auto. Um, so we're gonna do that as well. Wow, damn! Look at this. It's actually really good. You were right. You can actually make a website with this. And then all I have to do is maybe fix it up and after throw it into something. But like, wow, this is actually really good. That's actually pretty good. Obviously, Instagram X, all that type of stuff. That's actually really good. They weren't joking. You can actually do all this. Back into the chat, and then we are going to see if we can make, like, let's say, assistant. Uh, oh, organize, colored in box, um, by back to. Then we're just gonna and Arial. We're going under to see what this. Got that. Can Oh no, people now know my name. Laugh. Eventually, people would find out. Be great if it was in English. Why is this decided to default them to Spanish? Why is she in Spanish, bro? Got all this. So I just made Ariel. She's hyper intelligent. Yes, under the fucking sea. Yes, I had to do it. Okay. So we got this connected to obviously box that I have. So we got like actually figured out 8 new F12, and after it should give me the code itself. I actually learned this actually from actually told me how to actually do copy everything, but it was. So this is pretty much like a way. Yeah, so this is like a good way of fixing it because I was actually and then like I was actually testing this out last night, and then everything like all the errors. So like that's what I did. Trying to like see like the unfiltered type of stuff. Right. This is actually very good. So like it gives you two options. Okay, so what do you want? So then so what if what if I want both? Like a combination of both, like that clean back end, and but I also want that nice good front end that I really like. So like a combination a little bit of both. How it turned out. For it's a work in progress. Oh, it's smart. Like it seems to actually like understand, and it's actually understanding. So like I want the above, but I want that beautiful front end that it had, that beautiful UI that it had, and it was clean. So I do like it. How it turns out. Maybe not so much. So maybe we can go with the screenshot of the previous one originally. What I want. So we're gonna take a screenshot and we're gonna tell like this is what I want, but but while maintaining exactly that. So we're gonna take a nice screenshot of this, and then we're just gonna fix it up right now, and then we're going to add that screenshot of that beautiful front end design that we. This is what we want. So I that we like, while obviously maintaining that nice presence way. So we're still building this. The beta, obviously, it's beta, so obviously it has its. But again, add the photo because it has to be. We'll drop in the front end that we really like. Look, and obviously now we got a reference of it, which is very very nice. Have the above, which is very very nice. It's working. It's clean. It's crisp, but we do want that tailor type of screenshot, so we can actually have something, or at least something close to the screenshot that we can do. Big recommendation here is not just on Grok itself, but just in general when you are trying to design anything or anything like that. I personally, like, obviously, like, I wouldn't recommend. I would stress that if you're trying to make a good type of stuff, if you have a good front end that you like, or if you have a good UI or UX that you really really like, I would screenshot it and then throw it in, and then just say, "Hey, I previously built this type of UI, uh, or in this case, what happened to me? I want it to look like this or something similar. I want to maintain all the clean changes that you made and the functionality, but I do want something like this. Obviously, throw it to Grok or whatever type of AI that you would use, but in this case, it's Grok, and then instruct it that this is how you want it, and then obviously it will try to do something. So let's see the result. So not really good. So the agents have not really done a job. Not expected you. Follow the photo. If not, we're gonna try the expert. Where this is just obviously in beta. Obviously, it's gonna have. If not, then we will try switching over to for I just off the auto. If not, we're just gonna probably end up going, getting the screenshot again, doing it, and then just going it off the auto. Because obviously it's in beta, 420 is in beta, so expect issues, which obviously I expect. It's always a quick fix too, but somewhat, but still no. So switch over to auto, choose faster expert. We actually might go with expert right here. What we're gonna do is do this. Save, and then we're gonna do another attempt. Okay. Okay, so the expert actually is pretty decent. So we're gonna see how this turns out. It's actually not too bad. And then we have the second one right here. I like the first one. So I'm gonna choose a so uh Ariel, please. If the instructions provided, follow them to the T. Okay, cool. want I want to follow to a T. The fact that I know that something's gonna do knowing something about something about something something. So I want to highlight the fact that follow this to the T, uh, as I obviously highlighted. Um, so I like the first photo. It's crisp. It's a lot. This looks a lot more to what I actually had previously versus this. So the first one's a pretty decent attempt. Expert. Okay, so I wanted now it's okay. Now it's actually getting better. Okay, this actually looks cool. Okay, so we want. Okay, so we're gonna copy this one. And with the expert, here. Oh, okay, this is the new front end. And UI that I want. Can you please? Expert is pretty good. So we're gonna go back to the. So it's actually interesting how you can switch over and you have the unlimited capability of a lot of things. So like I'm liking it. It's a food. It's like a nice fun type of way. I'm vibing with it. Okay, I like it. So edit. So obviously the it's obviously aerial. So here's the updated. So we're getting there, and I'm liking how you can just switch over and you can say, okay, this, and like it gives you that unlimited capability that obviously you don't actually have um, with it, and like I like the type of style, and that's actually what I was actually kind of going for, in a way, like because obviously I have like a similar one I did in AI Studio, which actually is an actual it's an orb. Okay, it's very interesting, um, but like it's actually pretty decent. Let's see how the front end looks. Uh, oh darn! I closed Grok. I didn't want to do that. Hold on. Didn't want to close that. So we're gonna go back to Arial right here. Match. Please follow the UI and sure that is 420 isn't turning out as well as expected. So you gotta try to be you got to be very specific with AI, and obviously this is beta. This is off the 420. But I did like 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 I keep on saying, like it's as I say, I'm not gonna give Elon a lot of slack or a lot of hate due to the fact like he gets enough hate as it is, but still, um, but I'm not gonna give like as much as I call people out on it on a lot of type of stuff too. I've called them out before, but like it's in beta and okay, like I'll give them that. Yeah, obviously it's not what I wanted. Started turning out good until it didn't. So yeah, it didn't turn out well in the way that I wanted. The UI was getting clean. I was getting clean, and it's possible, but I guess it's in beta, so I might just go with expert maybe, and I might see if I can get a prompt here. I'm gonna go to one of my older type of things, and after see if I can get the proper prompt so I can actually rebuild it properly. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna do it on expert to see how the expert does it, or maybe I can just rebuild it from scratch. Obviously, it includes photos, but the email assistant was going well until it wasn't. So here, prompt that I use. Out. Like, there's like a certain like prompt I use. There you go. From the ground up, from all the text code information in the chat, please. I was saying I'm gonna add photos. Back to nuts. Please, and I'm gonna try to remake this round up with all the information that we have work because that's technically what I originally did, and that's what I did with all my other projects. As you can see there, I went into has like a ground up type of feel. So usually when I encounter certain things, I would usually delete them, unfortunately. But like obviously now since AI is a little bit more better, and I have like a better idea, and you can actually redo certain things. Now I know that I can make it from the ground up. By doing that, I can actually oh, so let's see how Ariel turns out. Okay, so it didn't actually turn out really good. I might maybe redo this on else, but that's kind of like the assistant. Like, you get the idea, you can generate replies, you can do all this type of stuff, but it's not the other one. So I'm kind of disappointed on that one. We'll try on the expert mode and see how it compares. How it compares to expert. I want to see how it compares. I just want to compare it right now. To actually have a chance now. Obviously, it's not in beta. We're just going to compare the expert versus the, again, like obviously, like stable version. I want to compare a stable version because originally yesterday with the beta, it was actually doing pretty decent. Because I think it's a lot easier because I actually already had projects already there. I don't know. Just it's like supposedly it's again it's hit or miss. I think because obviously it's beta, so like let's see how this turns out. It actually did a pretty decent job with the other ones. I'm gonna see the expert versus the beta. This is another good version that people haven't really done. Lots of people I don't think have really done like these live. Like they do certain reviews, but they don't go as nitty gritty as someone like me because I want to know like every. I want to see how it compares. I want to see how to do this. I want to see models. I want to understand how it builds stuff because obviously, like now, like it's more important. Okay, so pretty much the same result. So it bombed both ways. So both are both bombed, by the way. Which kind of it's just a massive L. Okay, so stuff happens. We're gonna go with the deep search. Um, I'm gonna get something off GLM. Actually, how it turns out, there's a couple of things that I actually. So there's a couple of things that I have right here. So I'm going on, maybe not. Maybe it's on Flu or something. I'm trying to get something. I want to see how it compares to something. It's like a idea that I have with a couple of other people, but I want to test that actually now that I have the Super Grok here. Test it out. So I have it in my Okay, I think I got it right here. Yeah, I got it right here. I got it right here. I got the prompt. So we're gonna get this, and I want to see how it compares with Super Grok. Even though I do have a lot of access to Flu, all the capabilities. Yeah, you can tell. Okay, so we go. This is one of the things I'm actually kind of working on, but I want to see how it does on Super Grok. We're doing the deep search, and we are how Super Grok compares to a search engine. So I think I haven't like I heard about this, but I want to see how it compares. Actually, searching Google. I want to see how Grok does something business like. And okay, so let's see how Grok does it. Okay. Okay, so the Super Grok is good. Okay. So I'm testing out all the features. Basically, Projects is just basically a chat. It's just a more fancy version of doing it. Well, this like I would have to say, like the Super Grok is still worth it. I'm just like obviously there's the Grok Heavy, which is basically the same thing, but you just have a little bit more type of things. Have the Super Grok, it's worth it. Definitely worth the 15-20 euro, but like so Flu gives you something very similar. Um, so does and obviously with Reflexity Pro and obviously like that, it gives you kind of similar. But like, I want to compare how running it through X search engine wise, just compared to like your local engines like Google. Yeah, Flu and other people obviously do that, but like this is obviously exclusively to X. So I want to see how the fashion is there, and obviously it does search through X, but also compare certain things. But like how it is, and it actually really is pretty good. What I got from Flu and all these other types of people. So all in all, I would have to say like this is baller. Like, and I had it on the expert. So this is off the expert. So now we're gonna see the 420 version. of this. So I'm gonna ask the same question in the 420 version, um, and I'm gonna see what I get. So this is off expert. So we're gonna see the 420 version. So we're gonna see. So this is off expert. So now let's see it off of the 420 version of this. So I want to see how the 420 version does. So we're doing that like like that end result. So we're comparing the stable version to the beta version, and obviously this is actually pretty good for the training data, because I want to be as uh, specific as possible with it, with the training data, and I want to like make it understand. Okay, so this is a little bit sharper. So compared to this, is adding that 8.25 billion just off the bat, as you can go here. It didn't mention that off the 4.1. So we have a little bit more of a sharper crisp for this one, and it's adding extra type of thin. So pretty, got some cross similarities, but obviously that's correct. So pretty much we got some cross similarities, but just going off the bat, it's giving you a little bit more extra information. So on the search side, it actually is pretty good, and obviously it has not mentioned UGC and all that type of stuff off of the expert. So just off that, that's actually very interesting. It's giving you Q1 projections and all that type of stuff. There's some overlapping things, but I would have to say the four. So with the coding, it's 50-50, because coding is it's interesting at times. But in the sense of deep research and all that type of stuff, looking like the 420 is winning. Um, so this is actually pretty good. It gives you like a better breakdown of all this, and it seems like it's actually giving you more detail and actually going into nitty gritty of what you're actually looking for. So obviously with Flu, obviously it does the same thing. So that's what I was kind of saying. So like it gives you like that nitty gritty type of stuff, and it's not too bad. But like but I would have to say the 420 is a little bit better with the detail and going into. I would have to say if you want to do research and when this does come out, I would get the 420, and like, well, obviously it's beta right now, but obviously by then, obviously it's gonna go into like the auto mode or like any experts and everything. So all that type of stuff. But like, it's very interesting on how now you're getting a lot more information, and then after how you see all the breakdowns, like in other words, got the SWOT analysis, so certain things that I would get originally one, so which is actually pretty good. And after you got all that stuff, so all in all, I would have to say it has its keys, it has its strengths. Obviously, it's in the beta version, but for the research, it is strong. Coding is 50-50. All in all, I would have to say like my solid opinion, and that is actually pretty good. Then you have basically making a project is basically what I originally did, and it's just kind of like giving you like more organized way a certain things, like pretty much like all the stuff they did, all in all, I would have to say it is very, very solid, and I would definitely get the Super Grok. And I would definitely do it because it blew my mind. Like I was testing it early for the past 2 or 3 days, and this is fantastic. Obviously, there is the heavy, so obviously with this one, obviously I'll show you my stuff. So I go to the settings, manage. So obviously I got 4.1 and the 4.1 fast, everything in basic, larger context memory. Have 128,000 tokens. And then with the heavy, I'll just show you the heavy. Not gonna get the heavy, but like I'm just using it. So we got all this, and then obviously you just get everything in Super Grok, highest limit. So pretty much the only difference with the heavy is basically you get a little bit more usage and dedicated support. But for the most part, is it worth it? Yeah, like it's worth the like obviously it's an American, so like obviously in the EU it's worth around like the 20-30 euros or 20-30 American, but like you pretty much get the heavy, but it's just basically higher. It's basically like the highest plan, so whatever it's 128. So we're like basically context tokens. So pretty much it's pretty basically unlimited. But like I can understand all this type of stuff maybe for like if you're like kind of like a massive corporation, or someone who just like I don't know, who apparently just has the cash, like Elon Musk. But the Super Grok is the best in. So like it's pretty good and all that type of stuff. But I would recommend it. And after now, as you can see, you can compare all that type of stuff. So as I said right here, I went to the settings and obviously I compared it. But I would have to say, all in all, it's worth it. Um, so my breakdown would be if you want to obviously get the okay. So if you're a person like myself and a heavy AI type of user, I would get the Super Grok and all this type of stuff. So obviously with Imagine, with all this type of stuff, you got spicy mode, you got all this type of other type of things. You can do certain but if and obviously you get access to like like the voice chat, the deep search, to get better context windows, you get better precise research. So if you're someone like myself, like a kind of like an influencer or kind of like a solopreneur, I would definitely get the Super Grok, and obviously you get certain access and certain things. If you are a corporation like an enterprise or something like that, and you want to get into AI, or maybe you have certain things, and you're not too sure about certain things, or maybe you're not really liking a certain thing, and you heard really good things about Grok. If you're a corporation, I would definitely get the Super Grok. Obviously, having the highest context window, having unlimited everything, and that's what it is. Obviously, you have unlimited everything with the Imagine this, that. You got your projects. You can coordinate with your team. You can do a lot more type of things with that, which is very, very good. You got the voice mode, unlimited voice mode, and everything. Pretty much, you got the highest context, unlimited everything, and obviously, which is good for a team because obviously, if you need certain things out in a certain type of thing, there's certain deadlines or certain things that to meet every quarter or something very intensely heavy, and you know that you're not going to be able to meet the deadline, you can throw into Grok and like obviously be specific. Hey, I need all this type of stuff done by whatever this deadline. I need this all organized, and obviously then you can coordinate with your team, and then you can get all the information, and then you can just pretty much just say, hey. All this is all the information from my team, and we're coordinating this. This needs to be done by the end of the month or going into the second quarter. I need this all done. Boom, you get it done. And then obviously with the highest context, unlimited everything, you get all that done. And then after now you're ahead, and after you can start like organizing certain things, and then like actually giving some structure instead of having everything disorganized. Obviously, the sense of like how I made Ariel and all this type of stuff, and obviously then I have like another email type of thing that's kind of similar. Ariel, and you can make certain things, make certain like applications that could actually help you in your day to day, and obviously you can like each corporation, and after then you can have like different functions, and after with that, then you can actually start coordinating a lot easier, and you can like get some like organization. Or if you're obviously with the super grok, if you're just like a person like myself, an influencer or a solopreneur, and you just want to get an edge over people, or just want to have a little bit more organization, you can do the exact same thing just without a massive team. Obviously, you're not going to get unlimited everything, but again, like again, compared to a massive team and everything, or just like yourself, or maybe just a small group of people, I think Super Grok will definitely handle it. Obviously, it's a couple of people, like yourself, or maybe 3 or 4 people, versus like a massive corporation that has hundreds or thousands of employees that need to coordinate everything in a certain manner. So I think that can like comparing it to that, then it'll be pretty good. But either way, all in all, I think that like it's good. And now, if you want to get more organized, if you want to get ahead, even like Musk and other people have been saying it, like AI now is a way to get ahead. And with these type of things, there's Super Grok, there's all these type of things, there's Cloud Max, there's all this other type of stuff. And like now with all this type of stuff, like look how you can coordinate, look what you can build, look at the editing photos, or if you're like, let's say, just a photographer and all that type of stuff, you're just okay. And obviously maybe you have a company, depending if it's small size or big size, obviously Super Grok versus what I kind of just basically said. But you can edit tons of photos and do all this type of stuff even without Photoshop, and you can get it done in a faster and more timely manner, obviously being descriptive. And or you can make, in this case, you can make a website and everything, and after then you make just all you got to do is maybe find a live hosting type of stuff, and then that's kind of it. But like with all this type of stuff, like I truly think that there is really no excuse for people not to say, "Oh, I can't do this." It's just like just learn it, and after like can get you ahead, and all that. Look at all the good benefits that obviously when I do my reviews and I highlight all this type of stuff of all this type of stuff, and especially with this now with the Super Grok and everything, like it is so beneficial. Like look at that, you have like heavy, you got this, you got like a team of experts. Obviously, that's obviously with the heavy, but like just as I say, like heavy, as I say, this is more for like the corporations. You would need to have heavy type of files and all this type of stuff. But if you're just someone like myself, or a little small group of people, this is fine, and you can get ahead. You can get your stuff done, and then like look at how that descriptive that that startup was as well. Like so, that's what I keep on saying. Like it can break down certain things. It gives you the structure, and then you can start. And after, then you can start contacting people. Hey, who would I have to do? And after you go into like a deep script again, and or whatever, and then facts and everything. That's it. And then all that work is just done with Grok. Um, or in this case, Grok. Yeah, in this case, obviously there's other tools, but in this case, Grok, and then that's kind of it. And then that. So all in all, I think that like the way everything is going, and that's kind of it. Like it's look at all the good benefits that you can use, and obviously there's lots of people saying, "Oh no, so why would you want to spend months and months or weeks and weeks of time when you can just do it in a couple of hours or a couple of days with this?" Super Grok, or in this case, Super Grok, which I'm reviewing, and all that, and then you can do something else, or you can actually start getting ahead and actually start prepping your pitch, or prepping all the type of stuff that you need to prep, because now you have all that work done with Grok and everything. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, Mr. Z